Hello dear students, in previous class we have solved up to question number 9 from exercise 2.1. Today we'll start from question number 10. So read the question number 10 very carefully. It is told that find the amount and the compound interest on 50,000 for 1.5 years at 8% per annum, the interest being compounded semi-annually. Okay. Semi-annually means half yearly. The in semi-annually and half yearly both are same thing. Okay, so for 1.5 years, so you have to calculate the interest in two separate parts, for first year and for last 6 months, because the time is given 1.5 years. Okay, so let's start. So principal for the first 6 months, and here semi-annually it is told. Semi-annually means half yearly, and 1.5 year is there. 1.5 year means 6 months. 1 year means 6 months and 6 months, and half year means 6 months. So 1.5 year is divided into 3 parts: 6 months, 6 months, and 6 months. Then 3 parts will be there, because here the interest is credited semi-annually, means half yearly. So half yearly means after 6 months the interest will be credited. So in 1.5 year, how many times the interest will be credited? That will be 3 times. Clear? So the interest will be credited 3 times in 1.5 years according to semi-annually rate of interest. Okay, so in 3 parts you will find that: first 6 months, second 6 months, and last 6 months. Okay, so principal for the first 6 months, that is 50,000. Rate of interest, see this, in your book it is given that rate of interest is 8% per annum. It means annually. Annually the rate of interest is 4%. So semi-annually means half yearly the interest will be 4%. Okay, per annum 8%. Annually the rate of interest is 8%, but semi-annually that will be half of the annual rate of interest. Okay, and interest for the first 6 months, that is P into R into T. T is here 1. Semi-annually it is told, but it is 1 because interest is credited one time in first 6 months. That's why this is 1. Number of times the interest is credited, that is T here. So 1 here. So simplify, you will get 2000. So this 2000 will be added to this principal, and it will become the amount at the end of first 6 months. So amount at the end of first 6 months, that is 52,000. Okay. Now for next 6 months. So principal for the next 6 months, that will be 52,000, and interest for the next, this is next. Interest for the next 6 months, that is equals to 52,000 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 1 upon 100. 4, that is the semi-annually rate of interest, and this is principal for second 6 months, and this is the time of number of time the interest is credited. So this is 2080. That will be added to this principal, and that will be the amount at the end of 1 year. First 6 months and next 6 months, so it is 1 year. So after 1 year, this is the amount, that is 52,000 and 2080, and this is 54,080. And for last 6 months, this will be the principal for the last 6 months, 54,080. Interest for the last 6 months, 54,080 into 4 into 1. So this is the interest for last 6 months. Okay, what you have to find? You have to find the interest being compounded, find the amount and the compound. Amount you have to find, so this interest will be added to this principal, that will be the amount. Hence the amount at the end of 1.5 years, that is 54,080, and this interest will be added to this principal, so that will be the amount. And the compound interest, you have to add all the interest that you have calculated. First 2000, then 2080, then 2163.20. finally it is 6,243.20. Okay, so in this way you will solve that. Come to the next problem, that is question number 11. In question number 11, it is given that calculate the amount and the compound interest on 5,000 in 2 years when the rate of interest is successive years. Rate of interest for successive years is 6% and 8% respectively. Okay, read the question very carefully. Principal is given, time is given 2 years, and the rate of interest here for two different year, the rate of interest are different. For first year, the rate of interest is 6%, and for next year, the rate of interest is 8%. Okay, so rate of interest you have to choose different because it is given different. Okay, so in two separate years, you will find that. So first of all, principal for the first year, that is 5,000. Rate of interest 6%, that is given, it is given that for first year the rate of interest is 6%, and next year it will be 8%. Interest for the first year 5,000 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 1 upon 100, so that will be 300. So this 300 will be added to this principal, and that will be the amount at the end of 1 year. So amount at the end of 1 year is 5,300. So this 5,300 will be the principal for the next year. So principal for the second year, that is 5,300, and rate of interest for this second year is 8%, that is given. So interest will be PRT upon 100, so that is 424. So the amount at the end of second year will be this principal plus this interest plus this principal, so that will be equals to 5,000. That is equals to 5,724, and the compound interest is this interest and the previous year interest, that is the 300, that will be added together, and you will get the answer, that is 724. This is the interest. Okay, now come to the next question, that is question number 12. Calculate the amount and the compound interest on 17,000 in 3 years when the rate of interest for successive years is 10%, 10% and 14% respectively. This question is question number 12 is same as question number 11. In question number 11, 2 years are given. In question number 12, 3 years are given. So in separate 3 years you will find that. And rate of interest in first year 10%, second year 10%, third year 14%. Okay, so you can solve it separately. So this is your homework, try to solve at home. That is question number 12. Now come to the next question, that is question number 13. In question number 13, it is told that a sum of rupees 9,600 is invested for 3 years at 10% per annum at compound interest. So principal is given 9,600, time 3 years, and rate of interest 10% per annum. These are the given things. So first part, what you have to find, what is the sum due at the end of the first year. Okay, it means the amount at the end of first year, that you have to find. In second part, what is the sum due at the end of second year, it means the amount at the end of second year, that you have to find. Third part, find the compound interest earned in 2 years. In 2 years you have to find the compound interest, means the interest in first year plus the interest in second year, then it will be the answer. Now fourth part, find the difference between the answer in second part and first part. Second part, the answer will be the amount at the end of second year, and in first part, amount at the end of first year. So the difference that you have to find. And fifth part, hence write down the compound interest for the third year. So for the third year only you have to find the compound interest. So one by one try to solve that. Okay, so first part, principal for the first year, that is 9,600. This is the principal for the first year. Interest for the first year, interest will be PRT upon 100. P is this one, R, rate of interest is 10%, it is given, and for first year we are finding, so this will be 1, and that will be 960. So the sum that or the amount will be this interest plus the principal. So the sum will be, hence the sum due at the end of first year, that is 9,600 plus 960, that is equals to rupees 10,560. So the first part is done. Now second part, it is told that what is the sum due at the end of second year. So this amount will be the principal for the second year. So principal for the second year, that is equals to rupees 10,560. Now the interest will be PRT upon 100, so the interest is 1,056. this interest will be added to this principal, so this will be the amount at the end of second year. So hence the sum due at the end of second year, that is equals to rupees 10,560 plus 1,056, so that will be finally 11,616. So this is the amount at the end of second year, or the sum at the end of second year. So first two part is done. Now third part, what you have to find the compound interest earned in 2 years. Means in first year and second year. In first year the interest is 960 and in second year the interest is 1056. Add these two, you will get the answer. So hence the compound interest earned in 2 years, the first year interest plus the second year interest, so this will give the interest earned in 2 years, that is 2016. Now that is fourth part. In fourth part it is told that find the difference between the answer in second part and first part. It means the difference you have to find. In first part, the second part, the answer was 11,616. In first part the answer was 10,560. The difference is 1,056. Okay, and find the interest on this sum for 1 year, and you have to find the interest on this sum, that is 1056 for 1 year. Okay, in fourth part another part is there, that is find the interest on this sum for 1 year. So you have to find the sum on this amount that you have got the difference between the answer of second and first. The interest on this sum, that will be P RT upon 100. This here P is this amount, so 1056 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 1 divided by 100, so that will be 105.60. that is the interest for on this sum for 1 year. Okay, now next come to question fifth part of this question. In fifth part it is given that hence write down the compound interest for third year. So principal for the third year will be this amount, this is the amount at the end of second year, so that will become the principal for the third year. So the interest will be 11,616 multiplied by 100 multiplied by 1 divided by 100, so this is 1161.60. So this is the interest at the interest for the third year only, because this is the amount, or this is the principal for the third year, and this is rate of interest, this is the time 1 year divided by 100, so PRT upon 100, this will give the interest for the third year only. Okay, now come to the next question, that is question number 14. Read the question very carefully. In this question it is given that the simple interest on a certain sum of money for 2 years at 10% per annum is 1600. The simple interest on a certain sum, the sum is not given, principal is not given here, only the time is given and rate of interest is given, and the simple interest on that sum is given 1600. Okay, what do you have to find the amount due and the compound interest on the sum of money at the same rate after 3 years, interest being reckoned annually. It means after 1 year the interest will be credited after every 1 year. It means the annually the rate of interest that is given for separate 1 year, 1 year and 1 year, that you have to find the interest. So first of all, what is given? See this, given that the simple interest is 1600, time period of investment is 2 years and rate of interest is 10%. Let the principal be P. Okay, the sum that is deposited, that the amount we have assumed that P, and we know that the formula, that is P RT upon 100, that is equals to simple interest, so P into R 10%, T is time 2 years upon 100, so this is the simple interest, and simple interest is given 1600. So you will equate these two, then you will get the answer, that is P equals to 8000. Here by 10 if you multiply, this is 10 and this is, yes, so here it is 5 left, so by 5 if you multiply this one, 5 16s are 80, so this is 8000. So principal is so principal for the first year, that is 8000. What you have to find? You have to find the amount due and the compound interest on the same rate of interest. Compound interest you have to find in 3 years. So first year, then second year, then third year, separate 3 years. You have to find the compound interest, then at last you will add this interest, then you will get the total interest for 3 years. So principal for the first year, that you have got 8,000, and rate of interest is 10%, and time, that is for first year, so their time will be 1. So PRT upon 100, so 800 is the interest. This interest will be added to this principal, that will be the amount at the end of first year. So amount at the end of first year, that is 8,800, and this amount will be the principal for the second year, that is the principal for the second year, that is equals to rupees 8,800. Now interest for the second year, that is the principal 8,800, rate of interest and multiplied by 1 upon 100, that is rupees 880. So this interest will be added to this principal, so that will be the amount at the end of second year, so that is, this is 9,680, and this will be the principal for the third year. So principal for the third year, that is 9,680, and interest for the third year, that is 9,680 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 1 upon 100, that is 968. So this principal will be added to this interest will be added to this principal, so that will be the amount at the end of third year. So hence after 3 years, the sum due means the amount after 3 years. So this is the principal, that is 9,680, and this is the interest that will be added together. So after adding, we have got 10,648, and the compound interest will be interest for the first year, interest for the second year, and interest for the third year. If you add them, you will get 2,648. So this will be the interest after 3 years. Okay, now come to the next question, that is question number 15. Bikram borrowed rupees 20,000 from a bank at 10% per annum simple interest. He lent it to his friend Venkat at the same rate but compounded annually. Find the gain after 2.5 years. So two things are there. Okay, Vikram borrowed 20,000 from a bank. Okay, so he is taking some money from a bank at 10% per annum of simple interest. He is taking the money from the bank in simple interest, but when he is giving the money as lend to his friend, that will be in compound interest. It is told that he lent it to his friend Venkat at the same rate, but now it is not simple interest, it is compounded annually. Means compounded means in compound interest he is giving the money to his friend. Find the gain after 2.5 years. Okay, so after 2.5 years, what will be the gain? The difference between the money that he has to pay to the bank and the money he will take from his friend, the difference that you have to find, then that will be the gain or loss. Okay, so money borrowed, that is 20,000, rate of interest, that is 10% per annum, and time is 2.5 years, means 5 upon 2 years. Simple interest, for the bank, we are finding for the bank the money that is taken from the bank. For that amount of money we are finding the interest. Okay, so simple interest will be P into R into T. Here rate of interest is 10%. Okay, so 10%, so this is cancelled out. Okay, and by 2 this is 100, and this is 500, so this will be 5,000. Okay, so the interest, simple interest, is equals to rupees 20,000 multiplied by 10 multiplied by PRT, this is T, upon 100. So after simplifying, we have got 5,000. So this is the interest after 2.5 years, and this money is taken in original. So this interest plus the original money, that sum of the money that will be paid by Bikram after 2.5 years to the bank. So the amount of money to be paid to the bank after 2.5 years, so 20,000 is the money that is taken from the bank, and 5,000 is the interest for 2.5 years. So this interest plus the money that is taken from the bank, the sum will be paid to the bank after 2.5 years. So this is the money that will be paid by Vikram to the bank. Now you have to find the money that Vikram will collect from his friend Venkat. Okay, now Venkat has taken the money from Bikram in compound interest for 2.5 years. So in three parts you will find, for first year, for second year, and for last 6 months. So principal for the first year for Venkat, that is 20,000. Interest for the first year, that is 20,000, that multiplied by 10 and 1, this is 2,000. So that interest will be added to the principal. So this will be the amount at the end of first year. And principal for the second year, that will be this amount, that is the end of first year, the amount will be the principal for the second year. So interest for the second year is 22,000 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 1 upon 100, that is 2,200. This interest will be added to this principal, that will be the amount at the end of second year, that is 24,200. And this amount will be the principal for the last 6 months. Last 6 months means a half years. So interest for the last 6 months, that is PRT. T is now 6 months, that's why 1 upon 2, that is 1,210. Okay, so the amount to be paid by Venkat to Vikram after 2.5 years, that will be, this interest will be added to this principal, and that will be the amount at the end of 2.5 years. So 24,200 plus 1,210, that will be 25,410. So this amount will be paid by Venkat to Vikram. It means Vikram will collect this amount from Venkat, but Vikram has to pay to the bank, that is 25,000. So what is the gain? 25,410, this amount will be taken from Venkat by Vikram, and this amount will be paid to the bank. So 410 rupees, this amount will be gain for Vikram. So Vikram will gain this amount of money, because this amount of money he has to pay to the bank, and this amount of money he is collecting from his friend. So the gain is 410 rupees. Okay, now come to the next question. Next is question number 16. In question number 16, it is given that a man borrows rupees 6,000 at 5% compound interest. If he repays rupees 1,200 at the end of each year, find the amount outstanding at the beginning of the third year. Okay, here principal is given 6,000 and rate of interest 5%. And one more thing, it is given that if he repays 1,200 at the end of each year, find the amount outstanding at the beginning of third year. At the beginning of third year means at the end of second year. Okay, so come to the question. So principal for the first year 6,000, interest for the first year PRT upon 100, that is 300. So the amount at the end of first year, that will be this interest plus this principal, that will be equals to 6,300. So money refunded at the end of first year, it is told that 1,200 rupees is refunded at the end of each year. So at the first year, end of first year, 1,200 rupees will be refunded. So the amount will be reduced. So this amount minus 1,200, that is 5,100. This will be the amount at the end of first year, or principal for the second year, you can say. Okay, because this amount is credited already, repaid. So this amount will be reduced. So this amount minus the amount that is refunded. So this will be the principal for the second year. So principal for the second year, so interest for the second year PRT upon 100, so that will be 255. So this interest will be added to this principal, that will be the amount at the end of second year. Again 1,200 will be repaid. So 1,200, if you refunded is 1,200 rupees is refunded, so this refunded amount will be subtracted from the principal, this amount at the end of second year. So 5,355 minus 1,200, that is 4,155. So this amount is at the beginning of third year, or you can say that at the end of second year, this amount will be there. So this is the answer. So nothing is there, only finding the simple interest. So then you will add the interest to the principal, so that will be the amount, and the money that is refunded, that will be subtracted. Then this will become the principal for the next year. In next step, again this will be added to this principal, then it will be the amount, but 1,200 is refunded, so you will subtract the 1,200 from this amount, you will get the answer. Okay, now come to the Next question. Next is question number 17. Mr. Dubey borrows 1 lakh from State Bank of India at 11% per annum compound interest. He repays 41,000 rupees at the end of first year and 47,000 rupees at the end of second year. Find the amount outstanding at the beginning of the third year. This question is same as question number 16. Okay, how we'll find that? Say in previous question we have done, then in previous question it is told that 1200 is refunded in each year, but in this question it is told that 41,000 at the end of first year and 47,000 at the end of second year. Okay, so see this. The principal for the first year, that is 1 lakh. Interest for the first year, that is P/R/T upon 100, because R is given 11, so the interest is 11,000. So this interest will be added to this principal, so that will be the amount at the end of first year. So amount at the end of first year is 1,11,000. But money refunded at the end of first year is 41,000. So this refunded money, that will be subtracted from this amount. Okay, and that will be the principal for the next year. Okay, so principal for the third year, that is the amount at the end of first year minus the money refunded. So this will be 70,000. So interest for the second year, this is the principal now. So P/R/T upon 100, down now the interest is 7,700. So this will be added to this principal. So that will be the amount at the end of second year, that is 77,700. 77,700, this is the amount at the end of second year, but at the end of second year 47,700, that money is refunded. So this money will be subtracted from this amount, so that is subtracted, so this is 30,000. So this is the amount at the end of, this is the outstanding amount outstanding at the beginning of third year, or you can say that at the end of second year. Okay, so now come to the last question of this topic, that is question number 18. In this question it is told that Jaya borrowed rupees 50,000 for 2 years. The rate of interest for 2 successive years are 12% and 15% respectively. She repays 33,000 at the end of first year. Find the amount she must pay at the end of second year to clear her debit. It means the money that she has borrowed, okay, that will be clear after 2 years. Okay, and in 2 years the successive rate of interest is given 12% and 15%. Okay, and at the end of first year the money refunded, that is 33,000. So what will be the money refunded at the end of second year? That her debit will be cleared. Okay, so principal for the first year, that is 50,000. Rate of interest 12% per annum, so interest for the first year is 50,000. P/R/T upon 100, that is 6,000. Okay, this interest will be added to this principal, that will become the amount after 1 year. So the amount after 1 year is 56,000. Money refunded at the end of first year, that is 33,000. This is the money that is refunded at the end of first year. So this money will be subtracted from this amount. So the principal for the second year will be this amount minus 33,000. So this is 23,000. Okay, so rate of interest for the second year is 15%, because rate of interest for first year it was 12% and for second year it is 15%, that is given. So interest for the second year, that is P into R into D. P principal is 23,000. After repaying 33,000, the amount or the principal is 23,000, and 15% is the rate of interest, and 1 is the time, that is 1 year, and divided by 100, so the interest will be 3,450. So this amount, this interest will be added to the principal, and it will become the amount after second year. So at the end of second year the amount is 26,450. So this amount is due at the end of second year. So if she repays this amount 26,450 at the end of second year, then her debit will be clear, because at the end of second year this amount is due. So if she repays this amount, that is 26,450, then her debit will be cleared. So hence the amounts she must pay at the end of second year to clear her debit, that is 26,450, and this is done. So in this class we have discussed about the questions and the answers from the knowledge check 2.1. In next class we will start a new topic, that is formula for compound interest, and we will solve the problems regarding these topics. Okay, thank you.